The following is a special presentation of Extreme eSpeed TV, your new home for everything iRacing and eSpeed.
People want to have a one-stop shop. They need us for now all these different services, not just the heating and air side.
When things are going wrong, you want the company that's going to be able to get things done as fast as possible for you.
Today we're going to be in over 600 homes. What the customers can count on is we're going to send a competent person to your home with a vehicle that's stocked and prepared. We're going to do what's right.
Right now, we're waiving our $79 service fee with any Coolray, Brite Box, or Mr. Plumber service.
We all need hot water. Some of us need more than others. So it's a good thing that State has a wide range of tough commercial-grade water heaters for your home. From standard models to high-efficiency and tankless models, we've got you covered, no matter where you live, what you do, or who started it. To install a State water heater in your home, visit statewaterheaters.com and use our contractor locator to find an installer near you.
Dyer Trucking in Mohawk, Tennessee is family owned and operated, and their main goal is to always please their customers and deliver their freight in a timely manner. If you need it hauled and you're in East Tennessee, the number you need is 423-393-4229. That's 423-393-4229. Dyer Trucking's also on Facebook. Pick up the phone and give Brad and his family a call today. Dyer Trucking. If you need it, they can get it. Find them on Facebook.
racers. Get the most horsepower from your crate engine with ProFabrication headers and exhaust. ProFabrication headers and exhaust is an official partner of the American Crate All-Star Series and used by winning racers such as Dylan Brown, Logan Robertson, Carson Ferguson, Christian Hanger, Cody Overton, and Eli Beats. ProFabrication headers and exhaust, just a click of a mouse away at ProFabrication.com. Quality that wins. Get yours at ProFabrication.com.
Hello, my name is Benny Boudreau and I created the Springrthm app. The Springrthm app allows someone who doesn't have access to a spring smasher to be able to set their car up to their manufacturer's suggested install loads and center to centers, as well as be able to figure out their dynamic loads, as well as make adjustments to them to make their handling of their car better. For someone who does have a spring smasher, Springrthm will greatly reduce the amount of time to figure out those new stack setups by allowing for instantaneous spring rate changes as well as load changes. Springrthm will even make sure that your setup doesn't coil bind at the loads that you're trying to hit. For only $4.99 a month, you too can have access to the same information that top late model teams across the country are using to gain a competitive advantage.
Racers that win, pour it in, and we appreciate you.
With the ButtKicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. ButtKicker. The future is feeling.
.07 Tire and Service Center is your one-stop shop for all your car care needs, and they're now a Cooper Tire dealer. American tires for the American worker. Buy a set of Cooper tires and get free tire rotation and repairs for the life of the tire. They have a 12,000-mile or 12-month warranty on most repairs. Check out 107 Tire and Service Center. They're located at 6256 Irwin Highway, Chuckey, or call them at 423-620-4970. For all your car care needs, 107 Tire and Service Center. Family owned and operated. And their number one goal is your satisfaction. Find 107 Tire and Service Center on Facebook or call them today at 423-620-4970.
It rose from humble beginnings in the Valley of the Sun. A sprint car racer saw the need for racing shirts. And now, the vision of Carl Korbacher has resulted in Arizona Sport Shirts helping racers across America spread their message. For the best custom designed shirts, hoodies, caps, koozies, and much more, go to ArizonaSportShirts.com. Be part of history. Arizona Sport Shirts, the original racing shirt.
That's right. We are here for the Fall Brawl in Limaland. Gotta say, this is one where it's a fan favorite, and not only a fan favorite, Travis, it's quite honestly a driver favorite here in the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series. I know we were talking to several of the guys, and this is one that they always look forward to.
Yeah, it is. And here on the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series schedule, it is one that is circled. We're coming towards the end of the season. We just got through our third Crown Jewel event, Adam. And now as the season winds down, there's some jockeying for position in those point standings, which equals, one, just respectable finishes, also some points payout advancements available to some drivers. And then we really start winding down the season here as it's already September. And Adam, I know you've got some points to make that have come through the news this week. While the series is winding down its 2022 season, there is still plenty of news to talk about.
That's right, and we got to mention this before we get the chance, before we get into racing tonight. There has been a schedule change. So for the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series, it was announced the date change for the second annual Lee Red Sheets Memorial Race. It was set for Wednesday night, September 21st. Well, it'll now be run on Tuesday night, September 27th, the night before the Gator Nationals at Volusia Speedway Park. The statement from Cody Early, our series owner and promoter, he says the series doesn't like to move events around, but sometimes schedules and things happen. So the broadcast network was needing some additional time before the event. We wanted to make sure the event still had a live broadcast, so we worked with Charlotte and Volusia to make this a two-day race event. First at Charlotte and then south to Volusia before closing the year at Lanier. So just a little bit of some clarity there on the schedule change. And of course, with that means another schedule changes. That's right, the 2022 fall schedule for the weekly racing. That's right, that'll come first race being now on October 4th. You see there on your screen, we have the 4th, the 11th, a little bit of a break, 2-week break, and we come back to 25th. Then we have the 1st, 8th, 15th, 22nd, a little bit of a break coming into December 6th and wrapping up on the 13th. So this is going to be a jam-packed fall into winter schedule for the weekly series. I know, Travis, this is one that you're really looking forward to.
Yep, I will actually be a part of this series, part of the Street Stock division. You can see there it's got Street Stocks, UMP Modified Pro Late Model Series. There's been a lot of talk on the Facebook pages of the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series. A lot of interest of drivers moving up into this Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series, which is invite only, but this weekly series allows people to get a taste of the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series, and who knows, it could eventually end up being somewhat of a feeder series and give some guys an opportunity to race here on Wednesday nights.
And that's what we love to do here in the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series. We like to cultivate from within. It's almost like at a company where you want to grow the talent from within. That's what we're doing here. And this weekly series is going to provide that opportunity. But I'll tell you what, it's going to be hard to top what we're seeing right now in the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series. You mentioned the Crown Jewel we just came off of. It was Dylan Perry sweeping all the Crown Jewel events and coming home with a $300 cash prize. Now, I have to say, he's got someone breathing down his neck, and that person is Tater Williams. Tater now leapfrogged into second place behind Dylan Perry. I don't know if he's going to have enough juice in the end, but boy, do we have a heck of a battle coming up as we are in the final furlong of what is the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series schedule.
And with those main talking points from this week in the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series, Adam, it is almost time for Houston Guttering time trials. As usual, you would gotta think Dylan Perry is going to be someone to mess with tonight. In hot laps, just finishing up, he was the fastest, turned a 12:44. That is a fast lap around this Limaland Motorsports Park. And now we move into Houston Guttering time trials. You know, Tater Williams, his hot summers continue. It'll be interesting to see if someone else can poke their head up in there. A couple drivers that have been running really well of late, Brett Carlton, Andy Piercefield, Cody Early. You know, talking to Andy Piercefield earlier today, this is a track that he really enjoys and really runs well at. So even some guys down middle of the pack, looking for some good runs here tonight at Limaland as we get underway.
Yeah, this is not in any way to compare the two in terms of racing or really anything other than that, but it's almost like this is almost like the super speedway of dirt tracks in that it's such an even playing field, in my opinion, that so many of the drivers enjoy it. It's going to be something where we might have a top 3 finisher that we don't normally see even in the top 5. So I'm really looking forward to it. But you mentioned the Houston Guttering Time Trials. That looks like it's just about to start. As you see the cars waiting to come out there, that 69 of Aiden Young eagerly awaiting. But I do believe we'll see Combs. He's always quick in these qualifying sessions, but first up, it'll be the 69 of Aiden Young out of Dalton, New Hampshire in that Capital Race car. He has, well, I just love to call out every single time, that Coolray logo, the blue and white. It just looks so classic, so clean, and so sharp underneath the night lights.
Also out on the track is the 1C, that's Colin Voiles. Colin comes from Dalton City, Illinois, Pierce Platinum, Mount Zion Auto Service, Mount Zion Auto Express, and Dependable Concrete. Aiden Young turns a 1278 first. Colin Voiles second with a 1301.
Yeah, we're going to see some quick times tonight. This is going to be kind of a night that goes by quickly, even with some cautions. I do think we're going to have some cautions, but I think it's going to be a quick race just with how short these lap times are.
Big, wide, sweeping corners, big, wide straightaways, short straightaways at that. And as our first two drivers come to an end, Aiden Young will sit atop the charts.
You will, and coming out on the track now will be Brian Boyles out of Decatur, Illinois, with that Longhorn chassis. Oh, rather the 141 of Austin McGlone. I saw the 41 there. As we mentioned, Austin McGlone heading out there now out of Hillsborough, Kentucky with that Longhorn chassis. And McGlone, he's got Chip Bangers Racing, FHP Consulting, Project X Coating, Bluegrass Motorsports Media, Estes Energy, Coolray Heating and Cooling, Bangin' Sets, and KMJ Graphics. And he shoots to the top with a 12.55. And Travis, it looks like you have the 117 of Joshua Johnson out there.
Joshua Johnson from Waynesville, Georgia, Capital Race Cars, Vortex Wraps, KHJ Powder Coating, and Vortex Motorsports. His first time was a 1281. See if he can improve on his later laps.
Yeah, McGlone, heck of a run there for McGlone as he puts a 12.46 on the board. And when you look at that, it's much quicker than anyone else we've seen so far. So now we'll see the 224 of Brett Carlton coming out of Royal Palm Beach, Florida with that Rocket XR1. And boy, is it a rocket ship some of these nights. He's got Southern Style Racing engines, Chip Bangers Racing, and LC Property Investments on his ride. And we'll watch him begin his Houston Guttering Time Trials run.
Also out on the track is that Mac Tonight car that we're so accustomed to. It's the 72 of Zach Chapman from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Coolray Heating, Cooling, Brite Box Electrical Services, VMR Wraps, and Gambler Motorsports. Zach Chapman's third fastest with a 1262.
And just in front of him, that Carlton machine put up a 12.56 on his first lap. Got to be proud of that performance. Could be good enough for a top 5.
So Chapman will complete his lap. He'll move up to second, a 12.52. So a good run there on his final lap for Zach Chapman. We're 6 cars in, and next looks like it's going to be the 00 of Nicholas Vickery.
That's right. We have Nicholas Vickery out there out of Wilson, North Carolina with his Longhorn chassis. Spartan Racing VMR Wraps, Coolray, Masterbuilt race engines. Looking good out there. We'll see what time he can put down for us.
Also out there is the 29. That is DC Smith. DC Smith from Washington, West Virginia. Team Zero Race Cars, Riverside Fabrication, Chip Banger Racing, B&B Baits, Combs Cuts, Bangin' Sets by Chip Banger Racing. DC Smith's first time is 6th fastest with a 12.85.
That's right, and now we'll see Vickery shoot up to 4th with a 12.65. You can see that there on your board. 1 through 8 so far. Smith jumps even one more spot up with a 12.73 over Johnson.
So 8 cars down, 10 cars to go, 18-car field here tonight at Limaland Motorsports Park. We'll wait for that next group to head on out into the infield and prepare to make their qualifying runs. And it looks like first car out is going to be that 75 of Andy Piercefield.
That's right, Andy Piercefield out of Woodstock and Cumming, Georgia with his Masterbuilt race car. Coolray air conditioning, Arizona sports shirt, CBR, and Extreme eSpeed TV.
Also out now is that 41 machine of Brian Voiles from Decatur, Illinois, Longhorn chassis, dependable concrete, Hoosier by Smash, iFlag Maverick simulations. Brian's first time 9th fastest at 12.81. Andy's first lap a 12.66, good enough for 5th fastest.
Absolutely, and Andy talked up this track. He kind of sounded confident. I believe last year he mentioned his top 10 here from Limaland, so he's feeling it tonight, and we'll see if maybe he can crack up one more spot. We'll see, though. He came just a millisecond behind Vickery.
And both their first times will hold. Andy Piercefield 5th fastest. Brian Voiles will be 9th fastest.
Now we'll see the number 98 of Justin Thompson heading out there from Fairmount, Georgia, in his Longhorn chassis with Hood Up Motorsports, Thompson Design, Sim Motion, Sim Magic, Dirt Chasers Media, and Grassroots Media.
And now the P7, that's Dylan Perry, our points leader and crown jewel sweep driver. His CVR race car from Ringgold, Georgia, Coolray, Rapid Race Graphics, Mashburn Equipment, Stealth Racing Carburetors, Newt's Lawn Care, Phantom Race Engine, Shipbanger Racing, Bangin' Sets, B&B Custom Baits, Combs Cuts.
And wow, Thompson jumps to the top right behind him, Perry. So the speed just hit the track right now with the 12.42, and then just behind him, 12.45. Thompson, Perry, your leaders back to back.
Perry will complete his lap. It will not be faster, so he'll hold on to that 12.45, good enough for 2nd fastest. Justin Thompson, our new quick time here at Limaland.
Yeah, and Justin, I think he needs one like this. He's been consistent all season until really of late, as we'll watch the 55 of Steven Spees head out there from Lee's Summit, Missouri, with his Midwest Turbo and Performance, MTTurbo.com, and Gambler Motorsports on the car.
Also out there is our 3E machine of Cody Early from Greenville, Tennessee, Warrior Race Car, Food City, Bass Pro Shops, Vortex Wraps, Vic Hill Race Engine, Oakley machine. He was our Constellation race winner at Eldora on night number 1. His first time good enough for 14th fastest, a 13.13.
And meanwhile, Steven Spees jumps up, ties Chapman, but he takes 5th right now. So there's some speed out there. As Early jumps up one more spot to 13th.
Spees will stay 5th fastest, and on his final lap, Cody Early will not improve either. Good enough for 13th fastest. 14 cars down, 4 cars to go here in Houston Guttering time trials from Limaland Motorsports Park.
And it'll be the 51 of Jacob Laster now out of Dresden, Tennessee with that Rayburn chassis. He's got custom race engines, 399 Esports, Flex Motorsports, Max Green, CFM Designs by JDM, and we'll see what he can put down on his first lap around.
Also on the track is the 182 of Tater Williams. The Clifty, Kentucky native has been fast and hot all summer long in his Longhorn chassis. Coolray Heating and Cooling, Chipbanger Racing, Comb Cuts, B&B Custom Baits, DPR Bangin' Sets, Phantom Race Engine, Stealth Carburetors. His first time was good enough for 7th fastest at 12.59. Right behind him, 8th fastest was the 51 of Jacob Lassiter, 12.60.
16 up, 2 down, 2 to go. We'll see if we can get Cody Terry and John Hine out there. As you see Lassiter and Williams side by side on the track and in the qualifying standings. Very close in time there, 7th and 8th place with a 12.56 and then a 12.58. So now we will have the 71 of John Hine from St. Louis, Missouri hit the track with his Rayburn chassis. He has the Cruise Shop, cruiseshopfw.com, VMR Wraps, Coolray Heating and Cooling, and Gambler Motorsports joining him along for this ride.
And last out on the track is that 25 machine of Cody Terry. Cody Terry from Gastonia, North Carolina, Longhorn chassis, Ground Round Calls, Spencer Boyd LLC, Combs Cuts, Chipbanger Racing, Kick-Ass Beef Jerky, Tight End Loose Off, Bangin' Sets. Cody Terry's first lap of 13.35, good enough for 18th fastest, while John Hine turns a 10th fastest lap of 12.65.
So with that, we've got some quick drivers, and assuming no one jumps to the top, Give it up for our guy Justin Thompson. Maybe getting off the schneid tonight. Could it be? He's just in front of Perry, and he is your Houston Guttering Time Trials quickest driver.
So Houston Guttering Time Trials will come to an end. It's going to be Justin Thompson with a 12.42. And now we will head to Carrier Heat Races. Coming up next here from Limaland Motorsports Park. Adam, as we go through the heat races tonight, I was talking to Andy the other day from a glass bottom boat, and he was talking about how well he runs here and is looking forward to tonight.
He did mention that. He mentioned his top 10. And what did I say to him? I said, hey, let's get a top 5. You know, you're a little rusty. I think you got it in you, Andy.
So we will wait as Houston Guttering Time Trials come to an end. Looking through some of the fastest times, Thompson, Perry, McGlone, Chapman, Spees, your top 5. Brett Carlton continues his hot summer of fast runs. 6th fastest, Jacob Lassiter 7th, Tater Williams 8th, Nicholas Vickery 9th, and currently in the top 10 of points, John Hine 10th fastest. 11th, Andy Piercefield, Aiden Young 12th. And with that, we will get headed to our first Carrier Heat Race.
That's right. Carrier Heat Race number 1 will bring us Justin Thompson on the front. Next to Zach Chapman, and behind them it'll be Jacob Lassiter and John Hine. Third row of DC Smith and Cody Early and Jordan Van Westen rounding out the rear as we look to steam through into the first Carrier Heat Race.
So they will get lined up. Justin Thompson, our fastest in Houston Guttering Time Trials, will start on the pole. Zach Chapman, Jacob Lassiter there in row number 2. Cody Early in that 3E machine starting in row number 3. Plenty of action here as we will have 8 laps in Carrier Heat Race number 1 to get us started.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun one. This is a track that it's going to go by too quickly. So this is one where I got to tell you guys, savor it, enjoy it, because this is going to be some fun racing. This is a track that most of the drivers enjoy. So I think when guys enjoy it, I think they put their best product out there. Not like they ever lack in this series anyway, but when you care a little more, the driving might show on the track. So these fans are in for a treat.
iRacing pace car lights are off. That means we'll go green this time by. Pace car will pull off on into the infield over there coming off of turn number 4. It's Justin Thompson, Zach Chapman on front row, and our Carrier Heat Race number 1 is green from Limaland. Side by side into turn number 1 for the first time. Lassiter is able to break away on that inside as he tries to move past Chapman, and it's going to be Thompson taking the lead to the outside.
Ooh, a little bit of contact there on the inside, and we have a car turned around, and that'll bring out our first caution of the night.
Looks like it's going to be for the 29 machine of DC Smith, our first Coolray instant replay. He was down there on the inside. Looks like they checked up in front of him, nowhere for him to go. Van Westen will get into the back of the 29, and we will get him lined back up to go back to green here in Carrier Heat Race number 1.
Yeah, Van Westen, wrong place, wrong time. We've seen that the past couple of weeks with some of the incidents with Smith. So just the timing, that's half the battle. Sometimes it's better be lucky, and hopefully there'll be some better luck later on in this race tonight, whether it be the Combs Pets Last Chance Showdown or the main event. But nonetheless, we will head back to green in just a few moments. We are still in Carrier Heat Race number 1, so if you're just joining us on Extreme eSpeed TV, we'd love to give you the option and remind you that you can chime in online. We had some great chatter on the YouTube page last week, and hopefully we get more here as we're about to go green again in Carrier Heat Race number 1.
So Lassiter will move up into that outside starting position this time. Zach Chapman falls to the rear. Thompson will pull away. He was on the outside that first start. Now he moves to the inside. He'll slide up in front of Lassiter down the backstretch as Lassiter will battle back on the inside.
That's right. He's giving Thompson everything he's got. They crisscross for a brief moment, but Thompson retakes that lead, and this could go down to the wire if they keep racing like this.
Thompson using that outside line around those big sweeping corners to stay in front of Lassiter, but Lassiter continues to battle back on the inside.
Yeah, Lassiter's found a sticky enough groove where he's not sliding around, and these big sweeping turns, they're taking at almost an even clip right now.
John Hine is settled into third, DC Smith fourth, Zach Chapman in fifth, as the front two continue to battle. Lassiter trying to make that inside line work, but coming off the corner, it's Thompson with the advantage.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder if he's got something in his mind, he being Lassiter, if he thinks maybe he can make a move on that final lap. Doesn't look like he's taking any risks just yet, but he might here in just a couple laps.
Looks like he'll fall back in line, reset here as they're coming to 2 laps to go here in Carrier Heat Race number 1. It's Justin Thompson out front. He continues to lead Jacob Lassiter as Lassiter continues to try to set him up for a move for the lead.
And I don't know if you can tell, but take a look. Look how bumpy that track is right there. When they hit certain spots as we hit the final lap, this is going to be taking quite a toll on their bodies later today.
Thompson will lead down the backstretch. Lassiter falls in line. They'll come out of turn 4 for the final time. And Carrier Heat Race number 1 is going to go to Justin Thompson.
Good start to the night for Mr. Thompson. As we look to pull up these final results, he needed that quickest in qualifying, quickest to Carrier Heat Race number 1. And it is he in front of Jacob Lassiter, John Hine, DC Smith and Zach Chapman will round out the top 5 with Cody Early and Jordan Van Weston finishing out Carrier Heat Race number 1. And just like that, we are in Carrier Heat Race number 2. The man up top will be Dylan Perry. He's atop the standings and Carrier Heat Race number 2. He'll be side by side with Steven Spees. Behind them, it'll be Tater Williams and Andy Piercefield, with Joshua Johnson and Cody Terry finishing out the 3rd row.
So a very quick group of cars here in Carrier Heat Race number 2. Dylan Perry, obviously our second fastest and points leader coming into tonight. Next to Steven Spees. Steven Spees, someone that's been fast all season long. It just hasn't come together where he could pick up a victory or pick up some solid, consistent runs. But maybe Limaland is that shot for him here tonight.
I think a lot of other drivers are thinking very similar too. And Steven Speed, like you mentioned, a lot of these guys are quick, but when you're chasing down Dylan Perry, Tater Williams, I mean, talk about the murderer's row to be in for Carrier Heat Race number 2. They could be the Perry and Williams show possibly here.
So Perry and Spees will come out of turn number 4, lead us to green. 8 laps here in Carrier Heat Race number 2. We're underway. Perry on that inside. He'll slide up in front of Spees as Tater Williams continues the battle there. It's Piercefield and Johnson battling in that row number 3 as they're still side by side for the lead with Perry and Spees battling for that lead position.
Yeah, and just the way they dive into these turns, it does not look like your normal track where they're usually slipping and sliding much quicker. These are really wide sweeping turns. The sweeping is going to kind of be the buzzword for tonight. And yeah, they're sweeping into a 1, 2, 3 single file line at the moment. Ooh, it looks like Williams got into the back of Spees, but credit to Spees for holding his line.
Williams running the highest we've seen yet tonight. He'll dive to the inside of Spees through the corner, try to get that second position. As it's Dylan Perry out front. This time by, we're going to be halfway, only 4 laps to go as Tater Williams continues to work on Spees.
He does, and I do think he's got an advantage. He's really playing all sides of the track right now, and it's not really costing him any time as he takes really high up. We'll see if he can do it in the next 3 laps and change.
So 3 laps to go. Dylan Perry out front. Spees is settled into that middle line as Tater Williams continues to run up against the wall throughout the corners. He's unable to pick up any ground on Spees as the front 3 cars have started to pull away.
Dylan Perry, he is loving the battle taking place behind him because it's not really affecting him, but Spees is getting a little close to that bumper on a couple of these turns, but I don't know if it's going to be enough with just 1 lap to go.
Final lap here in Carrier Heat Race number 2. It's Dylan Perry leading Spees and Tater Williams. Dylan Perry looking to pick up where he left off at Eldora, and he will win Carrier Heat Race number 2.
Never a doubt from when that green flag came out. We'll take a look here at your final standings for Carrier Heat Race number 2. It was Dylan Perry and Steven Spees, followed by Tater Williams, Cody Terry, Joshua Johnson, and Andy Piercefield. up your starting lineup for the third and final carrier heat race. It'll be Austin McGlone, quickest in the group, next to Brett Carlton. Behind them, Nicholas Vickery and Aiden Young, and Brian Boyles and Colin Boyles in the third row.
Austin McGlone was fast in Houston Guttering time trials. See if he can hold on. Adam, here early in these carrier heat races, passing is at a premium, and it's really hard to get by someone once they get up in that preferred outside line.
Well, you're right, and I do think tonight, though, when we get to the main event, there might be a little more space. You notice we're missing at least 3 drivers. I believe Brandon Brender, Brandon Combs. I don't see John Foskey out there, which is critical for the point standing. So there's some names missing out there that could really open up some space in the track tonight.
So we will go green this time by. It's McGlone and Carlton, that front row, as they make their way through 3 and 4 down the front stretch. We are green in carrier heat race number 3. Austin McGlone on that outside line. He'll look to slide up in front of Carlton. As he leaves it open for Carlton, they're 2 by 2 behind him with Vickery, Aiden Young, Brian Boyles all battling to get up to the lead.
Yeah, Carlton had a hot start to the night as well. We see if he can finagle his way up to the top spot, but McGlone is owning that high line, kind of the area that Tater Williams was in, but Tater had to do it from third place. Austin has the luxury of being up top.
Austin continues to lead. Really good line around that outside as he'll move down in turns 3 and 4. He's got Brett Carlton behind him. Nicholas Vickery third, Brian Boyles up to 4th, Aiden Young back to 5th.
Yeah, and what's so interesting about this track, at least for what we're seeing so far, is a lot of times if you're running the high line, you've got to stay in the high line. If you're committed to the low line, you've got to commit to that the whole way around. But you're seeing here, some of these drivers, they're taking that high line, and then they're going to take it down in this part right here. Notice how he's not hugging the wall. He knows that that's where the best option is. Now he'll take the high line. So as we follow along, you're going to notice the drivers are adjusting to each and every turn, let alone the track as a whole.
Austin McGlone starting to pull away. The most we pulled away. Vickery makes an aggressive move on Carlton for second. He'll give it back up once he slides through there. Good run for Brian Boyles, who moves up into third, makes contact with Vickery as we've got 2 laps to go, and it's Austin McGlone taking the white flag here in carrier heat race number 3.
Austin McGlone taking some notes heading into the feature because he made this look very easy. As we head to the checkered flag, Austin McGlone, your carrier heat race number 3 winner.
So that will complete our carrier heat races. All 3 of them come to an end as Austin McGlone will pick up the third. We'll take a look at those finishing results here in carrier heat race number 3. It's Austin McGlone, Brett Carlton, Nicholas Vickery, Brian Boyles, Aiden Young, and Colin Boyles.
And that'll bring us to the Combs Cuts Last Chance Showdown. It'll be Zach Chapman and Joshua Johnson on the front line, taking us to the green flag. Behind them, Aiden Young and Cody Early, third row of Andy Piercefield and Colin Boyles, with Jordan Van Vesten starting 7th.
So we get lined up here for our Combs Cuts Last Chance Showdown from Limaland. It's the Fall Brawl presented by Carrier. 12 laps here in our Combs Cuts Last Chance Showdown. And as you can see the field here, these are the final 7 cars. They will line up 12 through 18 in our main event tonight.
That's right, 12 through 18. And you see Cody Early down there kind of spinning the tires. He's ready to get going. And it's going to be a heck of a show. And I believe it's 12 laps normally, so it's going to be a little bit longer in terms of length than the carrier heat races. But, man, these still fly by, especially a track like this where we're looking at 12 to 13, maybe 14-second lap times when it gets a little crowded. So it's going to fly by. It's going to be a heck of a battle as the pace lights are off. So pretty soon here we'll be going green from Limaland.
Looks like Joshua Johnson having some issues in his pits. So if he does not get out there, he will start shotgun in our main event tonight. And that row number 2 will slide up in there to the outside of Chapman. And we will go green this time to start our 12-lap Combs Cuts Last Chance Showdown here from Limaland. Zach Chapman will lead us to green. Green flag waves. And we are looking to set our A main field for tonight.
Heck of a start there for Zach Chapman. Oh, Cody Early hits the wall. Does not bring out the caution just yet, but he sure got jumbled up as he is falling all the way to third with Piercefield breathing down his neck.
Chapman now rebounds, moves to the inside of Aiden Young. Won't be able to complete the passes. Aiden Young will hold on to the second position. Andy Piercefield in that 75 looking to the outside, trying to make a move on Colin Voiles.
Well, hot dog, it is quite the race right now. Chapman holding his own right now, but Aiden Young sneakily climbing his way up to the top right now with Cody Early holding steady in third.
Almost 4 wide back in the pack. Out front, it's Zach Chapman. He continues to lead Aiden Young as they've now completed 3 laps, 9 laps to go, 8 to go this time by.
You know, you think if Aiden Young's able to find a way to get caught up to and past Chapman, this could be a big deal for the confidence of Aiden Young. Kind of a name we talked a lot about at the beginning of the season, but would love to talk about him some more as we close out the 2022 year.
Cody Early and Colin Voiles continue to battle. That's a battle for third as Andy Piercefield watches on from the 75 machine. It's going to be 6 laps to go this time as Zach Chapman is in the zone and continues to lead our last chance showdown.
And right there, while you were talking, Travis, Early retook third, gave it back, retook it, and as we're watching right now, back and forth once again, that battle for third is the definition of a battle right now.
5 laps to go for Zach Chapman. He started to pull away. Aiden Young's now moved to the inside. Colin Voiles up on that outside. Colin Voiles is our big mover here in the last chance showdown. He's up 3 spots to the 3rd position as Cody Early and Andy Piercefield continue to battle for that 4th spot. But it's Zach Chapman up front, and this time by it'll be 3 laps to go.
You know, continuing the theme we saw in the first 3 carrier heat races, if you have the lead and you get a little bit of separation, it's not that hard to really get it, further, extend that lead as we're seeing Zach Chapman do right now with Voiles and Young behind him. It's going to be a heck of a battle. You see Piercefield now jump in front of Early, so not sure what's going on with that 3E machine, but he's opened the door for guys like Voiles and Piercefield to make a move. So with coming up on 1 final lap to go, Chapman may be the winner, but it's interesting to see who's going to take 2, 3, and 4.
Looks like Colin Voiles is going to take that 2nd position as they make their way around for the final time. Zach Chapman will be your Combs Cuts last chance showdown winner. Colin Voiles 2nd, Aiden Young 3rd. Andy Piercefield gets Cody Early coming out of 4 for 4th.
Heck of a run there for Piercefield as we look at our final results. Chapman, Voiles, Young, with Piercefield, Early, and Van West not far behind them.
So that will set the field for our Fall Brawl from Limaland Motorsports Park. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Reminder, if you're watching on Extreme eSpeed TV, you can comment in the chat section. Tell us who you think your favorite is for tonight's race here from Limaland. You can also subscribe and like the YouTube channel for Extreme eSpeed TV, your official home of the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series and the Light Electric Company Next Gen Series on Sunday nights. Click that bell and you'll get notified when we go live. But for now, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll have the National Anthem and our invocation from Limaland, and then we will be on to our Fall Brawl as you're watching Extreme eSpeed TV.
People want to have a one-stop shop. They need us for now all these different services, not just the heating and air side.
When things are going wrong, you want the company that's going to be able to get things done as fast as possible for you.
Today we're going to be in over 600 homes. What the customers can count on is we're going to send a competent person to your home with a vehicle that's stocked and prepared. We're going to do what's right.
Right now, we're waiving our $79 service fee with any Coolray, Brite Box, or Mr. Plumber service.
We all need hot water. Some of us need more than others. So it's a good thing that State has a wide range of tough commercial-grade water heaters for your home. From standard models to high-efficiency and tankless models, we've got you covered, no matter where you live, what you do, or who started it. To install a State water heater in your home, visit statewaterheaters.com and use our contractor locator to find an installer near you.
Dyer Trucking in Mohawk, Tennessee is family owned and operated, and their main goal is to always please their customers and deliver their freight in a timely manner. If you need it hauled and you're in East Tennessee, the number you need is 423-393-4229. That's 423-393-4229. Dyer Trucking's also on Facebook. Pick up the phone and give Brad and his family a call today. Dyer Trucking. If you need it, they can get it. Find them on Facebook.
Racers, get the most horsepower from your great engine with ProFabrication Headers and Exhaust. ProFabrication Headers and Exhaust is an official partner of the American Crate All-Star Series and used by winning racers such as Dylan Brown, Logan Robertson, Carson Ferguson, Christian Hanger, Cody Overton, and Eli Beats. ProFabrication Headers and Exhaust, just a click of a mouse away at ProFabrication.com. Quality that wins. Get yours at ProFabrication.com.
Welcome back to Limaland Motorsports Park. Part of our pre-race festivities, it's now time for tonight's invocation.
Good evening, everyone. Once again, Russ Ward with Dirt Racing Outreach. Thank you very much for allowing us to be part of your program. If you would, let's take a moment and open up in a word of prayer. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, God, I just thank you, Lord, that you have wakened us again, Lord, that you have put breath into our lungs, our feet have hit the floor. God, we have ability to stand and to give you praise and honor and glory for all that you are and all that you do for each and every one of us. So just thank you, Lord, for loving us like you do, loving us unconditionally. Even when we're at our worst, God, you still love us the same. And you proved that by sending your Son to die on a cross, that we may have life eternal with you. God, I ask you to be with us in the program tonight. Lord, just give each and every driver wisdom. Lord, remind them the enjoyment of the participation they're getting to partake in. And Lord, it's in a sport that we all love so much. Lord, let us not take that for granted. God, once again, thank you for all the things that you do and all your blessings that you pour upon us. We just ask all these things in Jesus' name, and amen.
And now, tonight's national anthem. Pre-race festivities come to a close, and it is now time for tonight's Fall Brawl presented by Carrier. Adam, looking at how tonight's played out, who's your favorite to pick up the victory tonight?
Well, I talked about it from the start. I don't want to. This is one of the racetracks where I don't really want to pick a guy like Dylan Perry or Tater Williams or really anyone in the top 5. I'm looking at the guys like Lassiter or Spees. I want somebody who's like, oh, that's right. These guys, they're a heck of a driver, and this was their night tonight. So maybe it's a Carlton. It's one of these opportunities for a driver to understand that this is more of an even playing field than we're used to seeing. So I do think. And I've said it the past couple of weeks, it feels like there's got to be one of these race nights where we see a winner and we're like, oh yeah, whether it's a first-time winner or one that just hasn't won in a long time, like an Aiden Young. I think we're due for performance like that tonight, and I think Limaland could be the scene for that to occur.
Well, as a reminder, the chat is open, so if you have a pick for tonight's Fall Brawl from Limaland, get that pick in now before the race gets started. And it looks like the cars are starting to grid out up on the track. And Adam, that means you've got our starting lineup for tonight's Fall Brawl.
That's right, and we'll take a look here. Starting up top, it'll be Justin Thompson. We call him Mr. Consistency. Can he become consistent again? He'll be starting next to our championship points leader, Dylan Perry. Behind them in row 2 will be Austin McGlone and Jacob Lassiter. Row 3, Steven Spees and Brett Carlton. Row 4, John Hine and Tater Williams. Row 5, Nicholas Vickery and DC Smith. Row 6, Cody Terry and Brian Voiles, with Zach Chapman and Colin Boyles behind them. In the final 2.5 rows, Aiden Young, Andy Piercefield, Cody Early, Jordan Van Westen, and Joshua Johnson.
So that is your starting lineup for tonight's Carrier Fall Brawl from Limaland Motorsports Park. They are getting ready out on the track. 65 laps tonight here at Limaland Motorsports Park, here in our main event for the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series. As the iRacing pace car lights are off, they were turning sub 13-second laps earlier, so this could be a quick one. And it's going to be Justin Thompson, Dylan Perry out front. They've had some run-ins earlier this year. It's cooled down as the season's moved on. But starting on that outside row here at a competitive Limaland Motorsports Park, who knows what could happen tonight, Adam?
Certainly not us, Travis. Certainly not us.
So we get ready to go here. You've got Travis Piercefield, Adam Johnson on the call as usual here on Extreme eSpeed TV for the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series. And we are ready to go green this time by. It's Justin Thompson, Dylan Perry on that front row. We're about to go 65 laps around Limaland, and we are green here in the Carrier Fall Brawl.
That's right. We go green, and it is a rocket ship right now for Justin Thompson. He's holding that top line, but he has some pressure there on the inside lines. We're 2 by 2 behind him, and the first caution of the night comes out.
Our first Coolray instant replay of the night. It looks like first caution is going to be for the 29 of DC Smith up there in that outside line. Looks like he just gets into the wall there, rides up the wall through the corner, and will bring out our first caution of the night.
Looked a lot cooler than it probably felt there for DC Smith, and I believe that's his second feature tonight on the Coolray instant replay. But we'll get him restacked and revived and back out there. But quick start right there for Justin Thompson. You saw, I think he got the lead. I think he got the start that he wanted. But he was already getting some pressure there from Perry and McGlone. And those are two guys who don't have much patience. When they see an opportunity, they're going to take it. So Justin Thompson, if he's going to hold the lead, he's going to have to almost be perfect tonight.
So Justin Thompson will restart. He'll have Dylan Perry. The front 9 remain as they started. 10 through 18 all picking up a spot with DC Smith going to the rear. They get lined back up, get ready to go. Laps go by quickly here at Limaland.
Famous last words. This should be a quick one from the announcer as we get a caution on lap 1. Lights are off. We should be going green here as the pace car comes off.
So it's Justin Thompson, Dylan Perry leading us back to green here at Limaland. Green flag waves. They're side by side throughout the field as they head into turn number 1. They separate through the corner. Justin Thompson stays to the inside, holding off McGlone. They're 3 wide through 3 and 4 for the lead.
And it looks like the caution is out.
Look at the Coolray instant replay. It's going to be the 12 of Justin Van Wormer. It looks like he gets into the back of Piercefield right at the start. Oh, and they get stacked up. It looked like Vickery got stopped back there. Brian Voiles was involved.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what happened that stacked them up, but that was odd. It's not like we were hitting fast speeds. We had just restarted, so kind of an odd start to Limaland.
We are in Ohio, where odd things happen.
Yeah, not Cleveland, though, the armpit of America, as was told by Joakim Noah.
They get lined back up as we've got 2 laps complete, 63 to go. Justin Thompson, Dylan Perry, front 9 remain the same. Big mover in the back there. Joshua Johnson's up 6 spots to 13th. Green flag comes back out for Justin Thompson. Great restart for Perry on the outside. McGlone looking to make something happen down there on the inside. Outside is Perry and Lassiter trying to move up into the lead. Perry will shoot the gap between the front 2, and it's McGlone going to the lead.
Man, McGlone just took a deep dive, and look at him. He's swinging up, and he might get past there on the outside, but if he's able to make that bottom line work, he may have found gold that the others haven't found yet.
Thompson fights back on that outside line. He'll lead that lap by as now we've got a green flag run going. 5 laps complete here at Limaland. The front 2 of McGlone and Thompson continue to battle. And something on this short track at Limaland, that tail end of the field traffic is going to come into play quickly.
Yeah, this could be one of the tracks, this could be the only track on the circuit this year where we might see a multiple lap car per chance. It's not ridiculous to say, especially let's say we get 30 green flag lap runs in. This could be something where we're seeing a car get lapped twice. So it could be a strange night overall at Limaland.
McGlone and Thompson continue to trade that top spot back and forth as Dylan Perry watches on from 3rd. They do have Cody Terry coming into the picture up ahead of them as they remain side by side lap after lap, working lap 9 of 65 here in the Carrier Fall Brawl.
Yeah, and if we're almost to lap 10 right now, you got to think maybe around lap 13 they catch up to Terry. Heck, maybe sooner, but keep an eye right now. That lap traffic always plays a factor, especially when they're using both lanes.
Looking throughout the field, Thompson falls back to 2nd behind McGlone. He continues the search as he'll move to the inside now. Cody Terry right in front of him. That will open the door for McGlone. They'll go single file around him to the outside. The top 3. Steven Spees has moved up into 4th. Zach Chapman, Aiden Young, Joshua Johnson, some of our bigger movers back in the pack as they continue to battle back. Up front, it's McGlone and Thompson.
That's right, McGlone and Thompson having no issues there as Cody Terry got to the bottom. And it looks like McGlone has got a very small lead right there as we get to some of the action in the middle of the pack. You see DC Smith, Aiden Young, the guys really in the nitty-gritty of the positioning right now. And everyone's starting to get settled in, it feels like, as we're approaching 15 laps complete.
Up front, Austin McGlone, Justin Thompson, Dylan Perry all fall in line. Front 2 using that outside line. Dylan Perry down a line or 2 throughout the corner as they continue to battle. Great battles in the back. You got Zach Chapman, DC Smith, Aiden Young all under a blanket. That's a battle for 10th with currently Zach Chapman holding a top 10 position.
Yeah, and there's not a part of the track right now that is catching a break. There is a car rolling over every inch of this track right now at every moment. So whether it's the leaders or the cars about to get lapped, this track is being used from high to low. And we're going to see how this changes. It's only 65 total laps, but this track still will change, and it's going to be on the leaders to adjust.
So DC Smith, Zach Chapman continue to trade that 10th position. Aiden Young is right behind them. You can see Andy Piercefield enter the picture as well. Brett Carlton's currently up into 7th. He's got Tater Williams ahead of him. Tater Williams up 2 spots. He started 8th. He's up to 6th. As we work lap 19, it's still Austin McGlone out front, continuing to work some lap cars, as Justin Thompson now is battling Dylan Perry for 2nd.
That's right. Perry having a little more trouble than I think we're used to him seeing all season. Really, I mean, you look at that 6th spot. Tater Williams is up 2 spots from where he started, but Tater's even having some trouble, making a hard charge to the front as we are about a third of the way through now.
So 20 laps complete. It's Austin McGlone out front. He stretched his lead to almost a second over Justin Thompson as he continues to battle Dylan Perry for 2nd. Back in the pack, John Hine, he's currently running 9th. He's trying to work on Brett Carlton. That's a battle for 8th position as the 71 will slide up and take that position from Carlton.
I'll tell you what, man, racing, especially dirt racing, is a beautiful sport because everywhere you look, these guys are battling. We have mini battles essentially going on right now. You see the one on your screen right now. This is a mini battle. 2 mini battles right there. There's so much going on within the whole entire race itself. So I just love seeing the competition right now in the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series.
DC Smith has taken over that 10th position, as is now Aiden Young, Zach Chapman. They're battling for 11th. Behind them in 13th is Andy Piercefield. He's up 3 spots from his 16th starting spot. But out front, it is the 141 of Austin McGlone. He works to the inside of Cody Early to put him a lap down. 25 laps complete, and it's Austin McGlone with over a second lead over Justin Thompson and Dylan Perry.
Yeah, which is just kind of unheard of to have over a second lead, and he looks like he's coming up on Brian Boyles now. So, I mean, credit to Austin McGlone right now. He's put Cody Terry, Jordan Van Weston, Colin Boyles, and Cody Early all in the rearview mirror once again, all a lap down.
So Austin McGlone continues to stretch his lead as he goes through lap traffic. Dylan Perry now looking to the inside of Justin Thompson, trying to make a move for 2nd as they've cleared some lap traffic. Next up for the leader, it's Brian Voiles and Andy Piercefield, currently running 13th and 14th, as Aiden Young is trying to make a move for DC Smith for the 10th position. They make contact down the backstretch. Aiden Young will take over that 10th spot.
Yeah, no one really wanted to be the reason that the next yellow comes out. You got to think if it does come out, it's going to be off a pure accident because these guys are doing a great job holding their own. And really, if we had an overhead view of this track right now, you could just see how beautiful it looks. Look at this. Just cars everywhere. Everyone navigating at different angles. Great camera work by little brother Andy. Love the angles. And you just see the speed. They speed out of here this turn. And you got to swing it wide and kind of slow down, and then you hit the gas once again. So this is really giving you a perspective of just how incredibly tedious a short track like Limaland is.
That is your leader of Austin McGlone. He's working on Andy Piercefield running in 13th to put him a lap down. As they continue, they've now completed 33 laps here at Limaland. They continue to count the laps down. Up front, it's Austin McGlone. He's got a 1.6 second lead over Justin Thompson, who continues to battle Dylan Perry for 2nd. Passing continues to be at a premium 4 position as the battles throughout the field have subsided somewhat. You've got Brett Carlton in 9th. He's trying to get that 8th spot back from John Hine still. Behind him, Aiden Young runs in the top 10.
Man, just watching these cars right now, it is just mesmerizing. These guys are putting it all on the line. I mean, this is some of the best iRacing driving you can see on any, at any level. This is incredible right now. And Austin McGlone he's putting on the clinic right now, quite honestly. And so we're past the halfway point, so you got to think this is the time. You get in these next 10 laps, probably around lap 50, some guys are going to have to make a move. If they want to be a legitimate contender for a top 5 or the lead, they're going to have to make their move soon as we are 3 wide, almost 4 here.
Look at the traffic. The 2nd and 3rd place cars are in now. They're trapped by Cody Terry, Brian Boyles, and Andy Piercefield. They're going to lose some ground on Austin McGlone. He stretches his lead out to 1.8 seconds as he is having a much easier time through lap traffic. It looks like they'll get it sorted out as Justin Thompson gets back to the outside. Dylan Perry continues to run that middle line, trying to pick up something on Thompson and battle him for 2nd.
Yeah, you mentioned that difference, that gap of 1.8 seconds. almost with this many laps to go, almost insurmountable. So if you're any of the guys in second place or beyond, really the rest of the field, you're kind of hoping a yellow comes out. But as a viewer, it's fun to watch Austin McGlone just dominate and extend that lead.
This is Steven Spees running fourth, Jacob Lassiter, Tater Williams, Nicholas Vickery, all for position. They're kind of on their own little island here battling for position. No lap cars, no cars ahead of them, no cars behind them. Tater Williams will fall back to seventh, as he continues to bounce off of the other cars. And it's going to be Steven Spees leading this group as they get single file around the outside line.
Yeah, Tater Williams only up one spot from where this race started. Very uncharacteristic, almost a sluggish night for him. It would be interesting to hear from his perspective later what's going on.
So they continue to battle. Looking back through, got three-way battle back here. That includes two cars for position, Aiden Young and Brett Carlton, as they work around the lapped car of Colin Voiles.
Yeah, you see now less than 20 laps to go. This should fly by, especially if we stay green. So not at this point. Our guy is fighting for a second place spot. Who knows?
So Austin McGlone continues to lead. 18 laps to go here at Limaland. After two quick cautions, we have a long green flag run here to get this night going. As the laps continue to click off, Austin McGlone continues to work around lap traffic. He works around to the outside of Colin Voiles for the second time, and next has DC Smith, who currently runs 11th.
I mean, think about this. We have 7 lapped cars right now. That's just, credit to Austin McGlone and what he's doing right now. The gap from first to the last one on the lead lap, 13 seconds. So Austin McGlone, comfortable lead, but you never want to get too comfortable, especially at a track like Limaland. So he's just trying to hit his marks, make it look easy, and swing in easy, because he's going to be coming up on just lap traffic the rest of this race. As we see some contact. We'll see if this brings out the yellow. Guys recover. Cody Terry almost brings out another caution. That could have been devastating for Austin McGlone.
That included Jacob Lassiter and Cody Terry getting together there as they work around the 75 of Andy Piercefield. That opens the door for John Hine to join that group of cars. It's going to be Steven Spees separating, but now Jacob Lassiter has Tater Williams all over the back of him.
That's right. With just about 12 laps remaining in the Fall Brawl, they are beating and banging right now. 2 quick and early cautions to open up the race, but since then it has been a long green flag run. Could we stay green till the end? Well, we're about to find out on Extreme eSpeed TV.
11 laps to go now for Austin McGlone in the 141. He's got over a 2-second lead over Justin Thompson, who's also opened up about a second lead over Dylan Perry in third now. Steven Spees runs fourth. Jacob Lassiter runs fifth. As the laps continue to click down, we're down to 10 laps to go. This time by, it will be down to single digits. Austin McGlone between 2 lap cars in the middle. As he tries to clear them, he will, as he gets 9 laps to go.
Can't believe we're already to the final 10 laps. This has been a thrilling race. If you like just green flag racing, drivers giving it their all, well, you've tuned in at the perfect time of the series schedule. As now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cars who have been lapped. There's a 12-second difference between Austin McGlone and Aiden Young, who is the final lead lap car, as Brett Carlton just goes a lap behind. So credit to Austin McGlone. He is just running down the competition.
That 141 is on rails as he's down to 6 laps to go here at Limaland Motorsports Park. Looking up to pick the victory up here in our Carrier Fall Brawl from Limaland. Austin McGlone picked up a victory earlier this year, the River Valley Rumble. That was back the end of June on our first visit to Port Royal Speedway, and he's looking up to pick up his second career Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series victory here as he's 4 laps away, and the caution comes out for Brian Voiles.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, take a look at this. Some contact there between Voiles and Van Westen, and he just gets turned right in front of our leader, McGlone, and you got to think McGlone's just like, no.
So Austin McGlone will get us lined back up. 3 laps to go here at Limaland. Austin McGlone leads Justin Thompson. His 2.5-second lead will disappear just like that. It'll also get our points leader, Dylan Perry, up in the mix as well, as he currently runs third.
Man, if you're Austin, this is, and I'm not going to take anything away from him, but this is a nightmare situation when you look at who is in your rear view mirror. If I'm him, I'm almost begging race control to start a single file. I do not want to be side by side with a racer like Dylan Perry on these final laps. So I'm almost nervous for Austin McGlone right now.
So Austin McGlone will lead us back to green. 3 laps to go here in the Carrier Fall Brawl. Justin Thompson will have his opportunity to start right on the rear of McGlone. Aiden Young, he's up 6 spots. He's our hardest charger currently, up from 15th to 9th. Good run for him. He's also the last car on the lead lap, as we have 10 cars a lap or more down as we're about to go green after that long green flag run.
Yeah, it was certainly long. Longest we've seen all season, as you see the tires getting warmed up there by McGlone. But you got to think, if you're McGlone, you knew this caution was coming eventually. Maybe it stings a little more knowing it's with just this few laps to go. But, you got to have the restart of your season right now, because if you get past, you really don't have any time to make it back up. So, Austin McGlone, the stage is yours. Show us what you got.
So 61 laps complete. We'll go green. He's the control car, so he leads us back to green. Good restart for Thompson, though, as Dylan Perry jumps to the inside. Thompson's all over the rear of McGlone as they go down the backstretch. Coming to 2 laps to go, the 3 front cars have pulled away.
Man, that could have been dangerous. Thompson almost had the opportunity to give him a little tip-tap and push him out of the way, but wise decision not to.
They continue to battle. 2 laps to go. 1 lap to go this time by for Austin McGlone. Dylan Perry will stick his nose under Thompson, unable to make the pass, and the front 3 have pulled away from the rest of the field as it's Austin McGlone down the backstretch. He'll go through turns 3 and 4, and for the second time in his career, it's Austin McGlone at Limaland.
There you go. He is becoming a staple to be reckoned with in the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series. Austin McGlone put on a clinic, and boy, we were sure grateful to be viewing it tonight here on Extreme eSpeed TV. Austin McGlone, your winner, the Carrier Fall Brawl.
So your top 3 finishers, Austin McGlone, Justin Thompson, Dylan Perry. You can see the Chip Banger Racing teammates there. 2 more podium finishes for that team. Good run for Steven Spees in 4th. Jacob Lassiter ends up in 5th as Austin McGlone celebrates and pulls into victory lane. We will wait for those top 3 finishers to get parked there on the front stretch as Austin McGlone celebrates his victory, his 2nd career Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series victory. Coming here at Limaland, he won earlier this year at Port Royal Speedway as well. And a very happy winner here at Limaland Motorsports Park. As your top 3 get parked there, we will wait for them to get out of their cars and join us here on Extreme eSpeed TV.
Yeah, you could almost see it there. You could almost view it just through his burnout, how good that felt for Austin McGlone. You got to think, he's had some really strong runs of late, especially whether it's the Carrier Heat races, or it's Houston Guttering time trials. He's been a strong performer, so to finally have it go his way, you got to feel good for that 141. It looks like we've got the drivers stacked up. We're now waiting for them to hop into our broadcast booth, and we will get with them in just a moment here on Extreme eSpeed TV.
And Adam joining us first. It looks like our 3rd place finisher, Dylan Perry, is joining you now.
That's right, Dylan Perry joining us with another podium finish, not on top, but Dylan, what we like about you is you usually tell it to us straight. That was just a heck of a drive there from Austin McGlone, wasn't it?
Yeah, and me and him were talking before the race, and he's usually pretty good whenever it gets up around the cushion. So once I saw him get out front, I knew it was going to be tough to, for one, catch him, and then to try to pass him. I knew it was going to be tough, but he drove a heck of a race, and I couldn't be more proud of him.
You know, it's very rare that we see a green flag run really just go that long. So when you're in the thick of it, 30, 40 laps in, and you may not catch up to Austin, and is it basically just kind of about hitting your marks at that point, knowing that you really didn't have a ton of people breathing down your neck, but you also weren't getting close to Austin, so it was almost like it's cruise control, just for lack of a better word, the best way to kind of put it for this race.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I was wanting to try to move around some, see if I could find anything down there a little bit lower. But with lap traffic, most of them went down to the bottom, so it just kind of made it hard for me to move around. There's a couple of times I wish we could get a well-timed caution so that I could regroup and try to run the bottom a little bit. But all in all, it was just one of those nights, and that's how the cards were dealt.
To give some perspective to kind of our viewers, was this a pretty accurate depiction of what a race at Limaland is like, or was this kind of a more of an anomaly having such a long green flag run?
There's times that I've had some pretty long green flag runs here, but it's one of those tracks that cautions definitely breed more cautions, and we kind of saw that the first part of this race. But once we all kind of got into a rhythm and realized that we still had 60-something laps to go, we all kind of fanned out and got into a rhythm, and we just kind of stayed that way.
That's right. You guys definitely kind of hit that rhythm, and you hit it right tonight, getting back on the podium. And I just want to give you an opportunity before we let you go to thank once again those partners.
Yeah, first off, as always, y'all probably get tired of me saying it, but I can't thank Andy enough over at Coolray. He's been a tremendous help, and I don't know what I'd do without him helping me, but I know it probably wouldn't be as fun, so I can't thank him enough. All the guys over at Chip Bangers Racing, I know some of them couldn't make it tonight, but it wasn't the same without them, but I hope we did them a little bit of justice by putting on a pretty good race. Rapid Race Graphics, Mashburn Equipment, Stealth Racing Carburetors, Harrison Automotive, Newt's Lawn Care, Phantom Race Engines, Banging Sets by CBR, B&B Custom Baits, Combs Cuts, Goat Farm Policy, just everybody that helps me do what I do. I don't think I could thank them enough.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Dylan, and we look forward to hopefully talking to you once again very soon.
Thank you, and hopefully.
That is Dylan Perry, our third place finisher here in our Carrier Fall Brawl. Now joining us is our second place finisher, Justin Thompson. Justin, it looked like it was going to be a long night with those quick cautions to go. Could you kind of walk us through what that long green flag run did for you as you started to lose ground on the leader and had to hold off Dylan that entire green flag run?
Quick cautions screwed up my rhythm that I was trying to get into to try and hopefully stay in front of McGlone. I just wasn't able to do it. He was just lightning quick tonight, and hell of a drive by him. Good drive by Perry. I mean, we raced pretty good. There was a couple times that he got below me, and I just had to fight for that top because I know the momentum's there, and it's hard to beat the momentum at Limaland every time you come here. If you can get up top and have that momentum, it's one of them things. Made a few errors on that long green flag run. My arms were getting pretty tired. So that last little caution we had, it was a nice little reset, but at the same time, I didn't want it because I was about, I don't know, 3 or 4 car lengths away from Perry. It just got to the point to where I couldn't hear him behind me anymore. So I was trying to find a good rhythm again to maybe, hopefully, run down Austin with the lap traffic, but it just wasn't in the stars.
When that late caution came out with about 4 laps to go, was there anything you could have done to try to get up alongside McGlone and get his rhythm off where you could have made a pass for the lead?
I mean, I probably could have if I would have dove it in on turn 1, but at the same time, I'm points racing, so I'm trying to maintain points and everything, and I don't want to wreck Austin, don't want to wreck Dylan, don't want to cause a pile up at the end of a race like this after we had such a good green flag run that I don't want to be that person.
Well, as we look ahead to the remainder of the season, you talked about points. So the points does come into play as you race these final few races of the season, and alter how you race the cars around you.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know if I've got enough time left in the season to catch back up to Tate or take third place back that I maintained most of the season, but you know, I doubt it. But I'm gonna do the best I can right now, just trying to maintain fourth.
Well, a great run tonight, Justin, will definitely help with the point situation. You're able to finish up ahead of Dylan Perry and also Tater Williams. Any sponsors you want to thank tonight?
First and foremost, I'd like to thank Matt Julis, Speed Shop, Hood Up Motorsports, Vic Hill Racing Engine, Sim Motion, Sim Magic, Thompson Designs, Martin Motorsports Shocks, Toll's Wallet, you guys for the broadcast, and Cody and Andy for putting this series together for us to run in.
Well, great run, Justin. We look forward to talking to you again soon.
Likewise.
And now, Adam, you've got our winner of tonight, Carrier Fall Brawl. It's the 141 of Austin McGlone.
That's right. I've got Austin. And Austin, you are back in victory lane, but I do want to ask you before we decompress and celebrate the win, how nervous were you when you saw that caution come out right in front of you with just 4 laps to go?
I'll be honest, Travis, I was really more nervous about him coming up the track than the yellow itself. I got kind of bit at that at Fairbury, and I was really hoping. I seen that, and I was like, man, deja vu all over again. But I was kind of sweating it a little bit there, but once we made a couple of pace laps, I realized it was a single file, so I knew I could probably get a good jump going into one, and as long as I could hit my line I was running when we had that long green flag stretch, I could probably keep enough distance to finish out the race.
Well, we knew in the grand scheme of things that exact moment didn't matter too much, but talk about it. There was a point where I believe you had an over 2-second lead in this one. It's got to be kind of a weird feeling. That's probably not something you're used to having in dirt track racing, right?
Well, I mean, it depends. It just, I like this track a lot, and I've kind of figured out its quirks about it, and lines to run whenever it slicks off. So, and I know this ain't no hosted session or nothing, but I've won over 2 seconds in hosted sessions. But not really. I mean, it's common, especially once you get on a good green flag run like that, which I was surprised to see. But glad to see it because we very rarely get them. But it's nice to have them. That way, everybody can race and trade position. Now that I just car felt really good to me, and track was about perfect. That's about it, really. kind of.
No, we love it, and I think that makes total sense. And really, your car seemed fast from the moment it hit the track, even from practice into Houston Guttering Chime Trials. And was there a little worry at all when we first got the first 2 cautions of the night on the first 2 laps? Because we know after that it was basically green flag all the way to the end. But those first 2, was it a little like, okay, what are we doing here when it began?
A little bit, yeah. I was kind of getting worried that we was just going to keep having cautions. Of course, cautions breed cautions. So I was really hoping we weren't going to get that because it just makes, the way iRacing set up, even if you pass 3 cars and you get a yellow, you don't get that lap in. You got to give your spot back. So I was really glad we was able to get that long green flag stretch in. Let's do some racing. Yeah, I was kind of worried there because I only had so long on the bottom to get by those guys in front of me. And I figured probably like 20, 25 laps in, that bottom would probably start to go away. And then it would either be one lane, or if you could try to cut down off a corner or run a small slider in, or if you could momentum through the middle, would be about the only way he's going to pass somebody. So I was really glad we was able to get those 2 cautions out of the way and then green flag after that.
Absolutely. Well, Austin, congrats once again for being back in victory lane. And of course, with that, we want to give you an opportunity to thank some of your partners.
Yes, sir. And I'm just going to say it feels so great to be back in victory lane. like I said, I had that long stretch where I hadn't got to talk to you guys in a while, so it's starting to feel pretty good to be back in here on the regular. But I got to thank Andy Piercefield at Coolray Heating and Cooling, FHP Consulting, SS Energy Systems, Project X Coatings, Bluegrass Motorsport Media, Chip Bangers Racing, all those guys over there. They help us all so much, and we just bounce everything off of each other, make everyone better, and banging sets by us, and I think that's about it. I want to thank you all for putting on a good, amazing broadcast, and Carden for running the show, and Melvin and all those guys, and Cody for all the work that they put in to give us a fun league to race in.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Austin. And once again, congrats on the great night.
Thank you, guys.
Well, with that, Travis, that was one heck of a race. One that just proves that the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series in this league, no race is just like the other, but man, it's always good to be by your side for each of these. Let's take a look at that final lineup here.
So it's going to be Austin McGlone, your winner, Justin Thompson, second, Dylan Perry, third, Steven Spees, fourth, Jacob Laster, fifth, sixth, Nicholas Vickery, Tater Williams, seventh, John Hine, eighth, Aiden Young, the last car on the lead lap, in ninth. 10th through 18th look like this: Brett Carlton, DC Smith, Zach Chapman, Brian Voiles, Andy Piercefield, Colin Voiles, Cody Early, Jordan Van Westen, and rounding out the field, that 25 of Cody Terry. It was another exciting night of the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series action from Limaland Motorsports Park. Remember, you can follow the Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series on Facebook. You can follow Extreme eSpeed TV Network on Facebook as well, as we will be off for a couple weeks. When we return, we will have the final few events of the 2022 Coolray Pro Late Model Dirt Series season. As always, we appreciate you tuning in and joining us, and we look forward to seeing you at a track again soon, race fans.
This copyrighted broadcast of Extreme eSpeed TV Network is intended solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without express written consent of the Extreme eSpeed TV Network is strictly prohibited. We hope you've enjoyed this broadcast.